Okay. Hi, everyone. We're going to be looking at lesson plan criteria and how to plan a lesson plan. And I'm sure you've been having a bit of experience with it in your practicum. First question you want to ask of the three questions is, first of all, what am I teaching? To find out what you're teaching, you look to the curriculum. What I've shown here is the language arts curriculum, grades 1 to 8. All curriculums are built the same. If you look at the beginning pages up to 170, the first 70 pages tell you about the program, and then you get into each grade level. The language arts curriculum goes all the way up to grade 12 as well, and you'll see a lot of repetition. We're going to pick grade 4 media literacy at this time to look at. So you look at the curriculum before you start your lesson, because that's what you're going to be teaching. We're going to take medium literacy. We're going to take the overall expectation is demonstrate an understanding of a variety of media texts. I've underlined, as you can see, the verbs, and I've underlined the nouns for a reason, because we're always looking at the overall, and then we're going to look at what specifically are we going to teach in this lesson, and we're looking at the word and putting in that little word by. We're going to teach students how to demonstrate an understanding of a variety of media texts by, and then we pick the specific expectation, understanding media texts. And we're going to be looking definitely at 1.1, which is understanding the purpose and the audience. And they're going to be able to identify the purpose and the audience of a variety of media texts. So I wanted you to understand that the overall is related to the specific, because that's the one we do assessment of. And when we're doing a specific, we're teaching that overall by. The other thing I want you to understand is that in the language arts curriculum from 1 to 8, in each year there are 15 overall expectations, and there are 65 specific expectations in each grade. So if you take the number of days in a school year, 15 overalls, you can continue to teach those all through your year. The 65 specific expectations, you are not expected to teach them all, because you may find the students already know some of them. Perhaps purpose and audience they already know of media text, we're not sure. And you'll test for that before you start. I've left learning goal short there because when you're making the learning goal from your specific expectations, we underline the nouns and we underline the verbs, and we take just those bare bone words and we decide what exactly is the learning goal. To determine the learning goal, you can say at the end of this lesson, we're going to understand and identify the purpose and the audience for the media text of a video. So you don't have to do all the media text. You can be doing one variety. So the learning goal has been set. You can also share the actual expectation from the ministry with the students in grade 4 and say, what do you think the learning goal is going to be today? And you can co-construct it with the students. The next question you want to ask yourself, question number 2 in your lesson planning, is how will I know if the students learned the lesson I taught? And that's where you're going to be looking at what is, and decide the success criteria. And again, you can decide that with the students, or you can prepare it yourself ahead of time. Always start with the words I can, and in this case it might be I can identify the purpose of a media, of a video. And then you might also say I can understand and identify what the audience of a video would be. You often have to, when you look at the curriculum documents from the ministry, you often have to look up on Wikipedia what the word means, because that'll give you a broader understanding, because they use identify, describe a lot, and explain, which has a lot of different meanings. So then the third question you are going to ask yourself, how am I going to deliver this lesson? And that's where you get onto how am I going to get the students' minds on, meaning they're out in the hallway having a great time at recess time, they come in, and you want them to forget everything that happened at recess and get their minds on what we're going to learn. And we'll be going over different ideas for that. And then you want to have them in action where they're actually involved in interacting with the knowledge you've given them. And then you want to consolidate, debrief, and connect with the success criteria. And that's where you can actually do a ticket out the door and go back to them and give each person a ticket that says, I can identify the purpose. I can identify the audience. So there's different ways of doing those strategies. I just wanted to give you the bare bones of a lesson planning because I know you're just involved in that now in the classroom.